The worst apology video of 2025 is here. We just started. What do you mean? By August the Duck. Let's see.
Do you live here? Yeah. You do? I don't believe that. What? I don't believe that.
Well, guys, it's a tale as old as time. It seems like, I don't know, every 2 or 3 months, maybe, somebody on the internet goes viral for doing something that reveals something pretty bad about—
I've got to activate my ult to fix it, okay. Let me guess. This was a black guy saying that he lives here and she didn't believe him, so she got scared. Is that what this is? Is this going that way that I would think it is?
their character, which in turn like ruins their life, and then they try and save it by doing some sort of apology or explaining what they did, and then that reveals something even worse about their character, and they ruin their life again. Happens all the time for some reason. And most recently, it's happened to this woman you're looking at here, Michelle Bishop, who was caught on a Ring doorbell committing what has got to be like the most blatant example of racial profiling of all time. The story goes that she was walking through her neighborhood with her children, and she thought that a silver truck was following her, so feeling scared, she walked up to a house, started ringing on the doorbell, trying to get in, trying to get somebody to help her. The truck pulled into the driveway. The man driving asked, "Are you looking for somebody?" She questions the man, saying, "Do you live here?" He says, "Yes." She says, "I don't believe you," and she runs away screaming for help. What was this man doing, you may ask? He was pulling into his own driveway. Yeah, so in what I assume to
I think this woman might be cooked. I think this woman might be cooked. No way, bro, you can't even enter your own house without some dumb Karen. That is crazy.
To be like fucking Delulu Land, Ohio. And no, that's not an Ohio joke. I feel the need to clarify that. This really happened in Ohio.
Bye-bye.
This woman thought it was appropriate to walk onto a random person's porch, tell a person in that home's driveway that they don't live here, and then run away screaming through the neighborhood saying that they're in danger, that they need help because, I don't know, somebody used their driveway the way it was intended. It's one of the most clear-cut, hey, look at me, this is what I really am videos of all time, and you're about to see it. So let's not
like, is this at night? Because lights are on, so I would assume it's at night. What are you doing at night outside with your kids? That's the more important question I would like to ask. Huh. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the dumbest of them all? I don't know. It's just stupid. Like, you don't know that guy. Like, just because he's like black doesn't mean like that he doesn't live there. Like, what the heck?
Not waste any more time. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
Knock on the doorbell. Ring doorbell. We need you. What's going on?
The fact that she prepares, like, pulls her, like, grabs her baby. That woman was prepared. That woman was preparing for running.
Do you live here? Yeah. You do? Papa. I don't believe that.
Can you imagine coming home after a long day at work and you see somebody unloading their fucking children at your front door, and you get out of your car, you roll down your window, whatever, and they ask, "Hey, do you live here?" Obviously, you say yes. They hit you with a, "You do?" And then they fucking tell you they don't believe you. What do you do in that situation? That's not a situation anybody's ever been in. The gall of this woman is insane. Just walking up to a random house and questioning everybody that wants to come in. I mean, oh my god. It's genuinely hard for me to believe people like this exist sometimes.
What? I don't believe that.
So what are you doing?
Rory, come on. Rory, come on.
Alright, so on the...
What the fuck? It took for her a while to scream help. That took a while. Especially like he's not even going after her or anything, like, huh? Like he's probably still sitting in his car. And never mind.
Off chance, like the 1% chance that this lady actually convinced herself that she was being followed, and she didn't see who was in the truck, this had nothing to do with race, this would not be funny. Fortunately for us, I can almost guarantee you that's not the case. This lady witnessed literally nothing but a black man hop out of his car in his own driveway, and that was enough to send her screaming through the neighborhood, running away with her children. Obviously, like the societal implications of that, not very funny. It's insane that people like this still exist. What's funny is getting to learn that a person this stupid exists on planet Earth.
What the fuck? What? That makes no sense! What do you mean? Not gonna lie, this would make me blow up after a long day of work, having to deal with this in your own driveway. Like, what? She's running for her life, he's not even doing anything.
Did someone come here?
That was my wife. Somebody chased her up here. And she had the kids.
Who chased her?
She said somebody in the silver truck.
A gray truck, and he came around the corner,
I don't know if you guys have a
and I was
reading.
in the street, and so I come up, and I see my kids, and so I'm like, gonna pretend that I'm coming home, and so I pull up, and I start walking to your back gate.
Okay, so look, I've talked about this before in similar sort of videos. As a man, I recognize that I cannot fully relate to all of the struggles that women go through, the day-to-day things that women have to think about that the average man just doesn't. So look, I can recognize that walking down the street as a woman at night with your children, you likely experience more stress than a man does.
This may sound harsh, but again, what are you doing outside at night with your children? I find this heavily unintelligent. So in general, like, what are you doing?
Okay? However, if a person driving through your neighborhood makes you this nervous, makes you this scared, maybe it's time to move where other people don't live. Or maybe it's time to just stay inside, like, for good. She admits here that he wasn't even doing anything. He just turned onto the street that he lives on, and that was enough to elicit this reaction from her. That is not normal. I'm sorry. That's
Nah. Like, if he like ran after you, okay, but this is not normal. Being scared is alright, that's valid, but she's just dumb. One wrong timing. Miss two, he was super calm, didn't raise his voice, and wasn't even near her. Yeah, and she like ran like for her life, and like at one point, like, you realize that he's not running after you. May seem weird, you know?
it's a little much.
And he stops here and he goes, "Are you looking for someone?" And I said, "Nope." And then he sat here, and I was like, "I need to get in."
Well, that's my husband. That's why he lives here. Yeah. He lives here. So he came in and he said there was a lady screaming, and I'm like, that's...
She got all worried. That she
I'm scared of the crap out of me.
How?
I'm sorry.
How did he scare you, though?
I just seen her in the driveway and I was like, "Are you looking for somebody?" Because I was pulling up out.
And I saw someone walking in our driveway, too, and I'm like, why is someone walking in our driveway?
Well, I'm sorry.
It's genuinely just insane to me how some people view the world. Like, she's actually sitting here defending herself. Has absolutely no right to be defending this, saying she was scared. She had no real reason to be. She is describing what has got to be like a top 10 most normal thing of all time. A person driving through a neighborhood? I don't think that it could possibly get any more normal than that. Like, maybe breathing is above that, but people existing in the places that people live, it's pretty normal. For her to
Chad, when you hear this, you are now breathing manually. You are now breathing manually. I remind you to breathe. She's telling that to his wife too. Yeah. That must feel so weird, right? That like you come outside, like all this commotion, and then like you hear that your husband is not even allowed to pull up to his own driveway because some hysteric chick absolutely loses it.
To never even think, you know what, I'm like on somebody's porch right now. I'm banging on somebody's door, ringing their doorbell. Maybe I'm the one who's acting strange. For that thought to never even cross her mind, pretty telling.
All right, sorry.
What? She said that someone was following her. So you were walking from there?
You came this way, didn't you?
No, I came down this street right here.
Yeah.
And I was riding slow because I'm looking at our Christmas lights.
Well, you just have to understand my point of view. Being by myself with 2 kids, I just saw a car coming, and so I was like, oh, it scared me, and so I just pulled up here, and I kept thinking, this could be his house. But you didn't say, this is my home. You just said, are you looking? And I was like...
Okay, so now we're just making shit up. Again, admitting that you...
No, she asked him what he's doing here. He said he lives here. And you like get all hysteric and run for your life. That is not what you were doing here. That is not what you're doing. Now you're lying. This would make me mad. Like, this would infuriate me.
You see a car in your neighborhood and you immediately think you're about to die, that's not good, okay? You should really look into that and figure out why that is. I don't care who you are, that's not normal. And he actually did say that this was his house, and you said, I don't believe that. Like, it's just insane to watch people like this who seem to just sort of like create their own reality as they go. Just whatever they...
Peak gaslighting. She probably did not expect this to be on camera and like recorded. She probably did not expect that. And now that is the case, so people are beating the brakes off of her now. You see, I was scared because a black person exists and isn't in a camp. Yeah, that's like the reaction. That's like the reaction. Now she's lying, yeah. I just don't know if it's specifically because he's black. His skin color was not mentioned yet.
They think is real, that's what they're going with.
I did. When you was on the porch, you asked me, did I live here? I said, yeah.
And you said, no, you don't.
And you said, I don't think you do.
My sister in Christ, it's a weird situation that you yourself created the entirety of. Like, what do you mean? It's not a weird situation at all. A man was driving through his neighborhood and pulled into his driveway. The only weird things about this situation are the things that you yourself did.
You can tell that I was really caught off guard.
Like, I'm pulling in my... It's like I'm pulling in my house. Like, this is not... This neighborhood is probably one of the best neighborhoods in Ohio. You don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Well, I'm very sorry.
Ohio Rizzler. Ohio mentioned.
I really hope that you're not upset with me.
Come on, baby, go in the house. Let's go.
You told me that I didn't. You said you didn't think I lived here.
It was the way that you were talking. I was so caught off guard. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, saying it was the way you were talking is code word for I saw you were black. Like, come on, let's be honest. You're on the man's porch, he asks, are you looking for somebody? And that makes you think he doesn't live there? That's like the most appropriate response for a homeowner seeing somebody with their entire family on their front porch. I mean, like, I think at this point, it would have just been less offensive for her to say, yeah, so I saw that you weren't white, so I just kind of assumed I was in danger. Whoopsies. That's what she's saying anyways. She's just tiptoeing around it. Now, after this blew up, this lady released like a 20-minute long video on Facebook.
On Facebook of all places. On Facebook of all places. Interesting. What was the end result? What was the aftermath of that apology?
Which I'm super sorry, but we're not going to be watching it because, well, it's 20 minutes, where she doubles down on everything. She gives a half-assed apology, you know, the normal one people give when they say something like this. The, oh, I'm sorry if it came across that way or if it made you feel that way. I'm sorry if I offended you. It's never just an I'm sorry for what I said. It's always I'm sorry if you felt that my racist remarks were racist. And then she basically just defends her behavior every
Like, we can tell that you're not sorry. You tried to lie your way out of this, so you're not sorry. You're sorry that you got caught. That's always what it is. I'm sorry that I got caught.
step of the way. She says, you have to understand that the situation was weird. He talked to us multiple times when she's standing on the man's porch. She initiated the conversation, says that the way he was talking to her wasn't friendly enough. Then she says something that is just completely insane. She says part of her reasoning for thinking this guy was lying about this being his house is because the neighborhood's still under construction. So she said, and I quote, it's a corner house and I'm thinking my radar is like, this is not a house. She's talking about the house that she is ringing the doorbell to try and get somebody to answer to save her. Didn't think it was a real house, apparently. What are you talking about? Then she starts patting herself on the back.
Like I said, she's just lying her way out of this. That's just what it is. She's lying her way out of this.
I can't make this shit up. She says, looking back at the video, I'm proud of myself. Not just for the success I've achieved, but for the growth I've experienced. I'm proud that even in the hardest moments, I was able to handle the situation with grace and not spaz out when it could have been so easy to lose control. Ma'am, I guess we have different definitions of certain words. All in all, this is just an extremely goofy, yet extremely sad situation. The fact that shit like this is still happening day to day is it's just insane. A man can't even fucking pull into his driveway anymore. Well, guys, what do you think? Do you think people are blowing this out of proportion? Do you think the way she reacted was appropriate? I feel like this would be an...
I'm sorry I did it, but it was my fault. I did it because of him. Yeah, like I said, she's absolutely lying. Like, you were standing on his driveway. You should have just moved on. Like, this all could have been prevented if it just continued walking instead of going up to somebody's house. Oh no, she looks like the average white mom that is going to complain to a McDonald's worker that how dare they not heat up her KFC. Kinda.
Entirely different situation if after all of this went down, she went on Facebook and was like, look, I fucked up. I understand how this looks. I did the wrong thing. I'm sorry. Didn't need to be dragged out for 20 minutes. Didn't need to do all the shit she did. I feel like if she would have just sort of owned up to it, it would have been relatively fine. But doubling down, saying you're proud of yourself, saying there's nothing wrong with what you did. Come on. Gotta be an adult sometimes. That's one of those moments. When you paint some random person as this aggressor who was like threatening your family, all the while all he did was ask why you're standing on his front porch. Gotta own up to shit like that. Seems like a relatively simple concept to me, but hey, so do a lot of things that people seem to not get these days, so what are you gonna do about it? Stay safe out there, guys. Make sure you don't accidentally find yourself pulling into your own driveway.
Yeah. Make sure there's no white Karen standing there telling you that, you can't pull up in your own driveway. You're scaring her. Man, this is just stupid.
Not a good look. Okay, see ya.
Well, that's the end of the video. Now we know. I don't think this is gonna be the worst one, though. 2025 is long. This is not necessarily the longest one, like the worst one. There's still stuff coming.